Welcome to the Deerfield Theater Podcast. In this season, we're talking about Deerfield's production of Murder on the Orient Express. In case you're tuning in and didn't already know, Deerfield Theater is putting on a production of Murder on the Orient Express this April of 2026, and performances start Friday, April 3rd, and only go through Sunday, April 12th. Where we kill the performances. So while you're listening to this episode, visit the link in the show notes and get your tickets. Without further delay, here's the interview. Welcome back to the Deerfield Theater Podcast. Thrilled to have with me today for our first episode for Murder on the Orient Express. We have Danielle. All right, we're live. No, we have Danielle Piccolomini. I was so focused on the last name that I screwed up the first name. Danielle, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Yeah, so I am a Chicago transplant. I grew up in Delaware and happened to move to Chicago, back in 2019. And that was the fall of 2019. So it was right before COVID happened. So that was a perfect time to move to a new city and start new jobs. Yeah, so during the day, I work as a manager at a music school. And then it took me a while because it was crazy during COVID. But I finally started doing theater again after, almost 10-year hiatus, I think.
Wow.
And started off with Deerfield Theater D, Inherit the Wind, which I happened to audition for with about 20 minutes notice.
That's how it happens, though, right? When you get pulled back in, you're like, come on, there's an audition. You got to go.
Well, right. I had been looking for things, and I grew up in Delaware where there are a lot of community theaters everywhere. And then I was like, where does anyone do theater here other than at school or professionally? Because I don't want to do either of those. And I mean, I'm not in school, so I guess I can't do it at school. Yeah. So then I just found that one, and I was like, I don't know that I want to do a play right away. But sure, why not? And I 20 minutes beforehand decided, okay, I'm going to go audition for a play. Yeah, and I happened to get in.
Was that the one, were they still doing masks, or was that like the first one? There were no masks, I think, maybe.
I don't know if it was the first one without masks, but there were no masks. I didn't want to get back into theater and have to do it with masks.
Yeah.
After 10 years.
That might have been.
That was the first one at Caruso.
With the new theater, right? That was the first one.
Yes, first show on the new stage.
Yeah. That was, I think that was maybe it was only the second season of the podcast too back then. It was maybe the second or third show that we were doing, because it was really early on. I remember that we were still figuring this whole thing out. But yeah, well, that's great. And then you've stayed on, right? You've done several shows. Tell the audience about some of the other shows you've been in.
Sure. Yeah. So I was in Inherit the Wind, and then the next fall I was in Beauty and the Beast. You might have seen me as a napkin in that. And then 2 years ago I did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which I was Veruca. So I looked a little bit different and crazier. Well, maybe not crazier. And then last year I was just in Shrek as Peter Pan. And then now I'm in Murder on the Orient Express as the Countess.
So Veruca, was that the squirrel ballet?
Yep, that was me.
Okay.
And the mannequin that we had that got ripped apart at the end was at least a foot taller than me.
Okay. I definitely remember you, because I think I might have even told you that my daughter, who was there, she was maybe around 4. Charlie was it's a real ballerina.
Yeah, I do remember that now.
Yeah, she couldn't believe it. There was a real, it's not just a pretender on TV or something. It's in real life, a real ballerina.
Which is hilarious, because I've taken very minimal ballet classes. I just trained a lot for that role.
There you go. There's the power of potential. So
exactly.
So tell us then, so obviously you keep coming back, right, to do more shows. So it's a good company. You like Deerfield Theater?
Yeah, I love it. It's just the best people. I feel like it's always a feeling of wanting to put on a great show, but also a lot of it is about building community, and that is
Hmm.
what I was looking for at the time, because when I was just getting out of COVID, I was just working my job and doing girls' night with my friend every Monday, and that was
Right.
about it.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the power of community and community theater. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So then tell us about this role in Murder without spoiling, of course.
Sure. Yes. So the Countess is Hungarian, so I had to learn to do a Hungarian accent, which has been very interesting. She is supposed to be very beautiful, if I don't say so myself, and very like welcoming and like kind of like a bright light. She also is very, very smart, and she has training as a doctor, and really she is like the main like person that's with the detective, working with him to solve the murder. And I
Ooh.
hope
So
that's not a spoiler, but it is in the title, so I think everyone's gonna know like there is a murderer.
So, were you familiar with Murder on the Orient Express in the play or film version before you audition?
I was not. I looked up some stuff beforehand, but I pretty much went in pretty blind to it. I just Matt, the director, I had worked with him originally on stage in Inherit the Wind, and then as well as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, he directed that. So I was like, I got nothing going on this spring. Might as well audition for the show, see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. So then, when you first finished your first script read through, now obviously without giving it away, but like, what was your reaction when you discovered the secret to the mystery?
Yeah, I feel like I was surprised, and I really go into things like I'll read them like very much with an open mind. I wouldn't say I was like, oh my gosh, a massive twist, but I think there's a people won't see it coming if they haven't read the script or read the books before.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I'd known about Murder for a long time, and then there was that movie that came out like like this century,
Sure.
like
Yeah. So Johnny
within.
Depp.
Yeah, yeah. And whatever his name is, a guy I thought it was like I thought it was Ewan McGregor, but it was just that other Brit that kind of looks like him and sounds like him.
Yeah. Yep.
You
Can't
know,
remember his name
I
right
don't
now.
remember his name. He directed in it and starred in it though, and it was really good. Kenneth Branagh, I think, is who
Oh,
was.
yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds right.
yeah, and oh, what a great story. I mean, I'm just so
Yeah.
excited that we get to do that for Deerfield. I'm very happy about it. Let's just say the ending is surprising. Let's just put it that
Yes,
way.
exactly.
The ending will get you, but hopefully not like the person who was murdered.
That's what I was gonna say.
So you took a 10-year hiatus from acting. What was this? Just life just happened then?
Yes, I went to a very unconventional college where I was touring for about 7 years. So I
Okay.
didn't have time to do like actual like full length plays. I was doing more so variety type shows
Hmm.
for a long time. So that was the impetus for me being away from theater for a long time. But I'm very happy to be back at it now.
So still then a seasoned performer nonetheless.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I mean, what kind of touring? Like variety show? Like playing instruments or like singing and dancing? Like what
Singing and
exactly?
dancing, yes. We did all sorts of stuff. This is a very long story that I don't know that we could get through it all in,
Okay.
in the time of the podcast.
We'll just have to keep it a mystery.
Exactly. I can't give away all my secrets.
All right. So we kind of have talked around it a little bit, but like, let's say somebody has never seen Murder on the Orient Express before. Why should they come see this show?
I will say, first and foremost, the cast that we have is extraordinarily talented. Coming into it, I'm one of the younger performers, and it was very intimidating to have, this very seasoned actor as the detective who I have a lot of my scenes with, and having to be kind of toe to toe with him. I was like, oh man, you are very serious, sir, and I'm just here to goof around with my friends, I guess, but I'll do it. I'll get on your level. So yeah, we have a lot of amazingly talented folks in the show, and I think overall, like It's just a really interesting story, and I think that who doesn't like a little mystery, something like a puzzle to solve?
Yeah, yeah. The gears will be turning throughout the whole play, and then what about for those people who okay, so they've seen it before, maybe they think they know the answer to the mystery. Why should they come and see this if they've already seen it before?
I mean, I think a lot of people who like murder mysteries are people that come back to things over and over. And I think that our set is going to be really cool. It's going to be, without giving anything away, I think that there are going to be aspects to that that really take you inside the train. And we're going to be nice and cozy up there. And you're going to really feel like part of what we discussed at the beginning of the process was talking about how we want it to feel cinematic, and I think that it is really going to draw the audience in, even for people who have seen the show before.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is like every, first of all, live theater is unique and different and ephemeral. And so you might have seen Murder before, but you haven't seen this presentation of it. And it
Exactly.
just sounds like this particular set will be, kind of one of a kind kind of experience. So that's why people
i,
have to come.
I think so, yeah.
But
I'm excited to see it.
yeah, yeah. And look, we live in such a spoiler-rich culture these days, where like people will go and watch the spoiler videos on YouTube before going and seeing a movie. So it's like, sometimes it's about the journey, it's not about the destination, right?
Sure, sure. Yes, I watched Two Kids in the Morning as well, and I was trying to get them not to spoil it, but they looked it up, and I said, well, you haven't seen this version. Who knows? Maybe it's not the same one.
There's always that possibility.
Exactly. Maybe we changed something. You don't know.
Ooh, ooh, maybe, maybe. So, all right. So one of the other things we like to talk about, well, even before we get to that, so you just talked about the set and how the set is going to be really cool. You've been in a lot of Deerfield theater shows, so aren't the sets always awesome? Don't we have just a great like set team?
I mean, yeah, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory set was insane. It was so cool. I feel like, yeah, that was like such a spectacle, as well as like Beauty and the Beast. That was a massive set as well. I feel like I've been involved in a lot of like really big shows, and I don't think this one's going to be any different.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just shout outs to everybody who helps build those. Some amazing volunteers, right?
Yeah,
Who put these sets together. It's really incredible, and for like a local community theater of like a small town, they're pretty
yeah.
phenomenal.
I helped paint some of the Shrek set as well.
There you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then something else we like to talk about on the podcast because all kinds of people listen and kids and parents with their kids, and so yes, there's like theater life, and you said like you're here to play and have fun and do that. But then, like, you're not a professional performer. Most people who do community theater are not, though some of them are. So, like, what are some of those non-performing world takeaways that you're able
Sure.
to take with you from the stage and lessons from the stage and then apply them in the rest of your life?
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of theater is seeing a problem and figuring out how to solve it, which is so applicable in all of life, but specifically like in my job. My whole job is scheduling and managing people and seeing lots of problems and having to solve them really quickly and in the moment. So that I feel like has always been part of my life and really helps me in my personal and professional life.
Yeah, yeah. And then another fun question I like to ask is, especially for a play like Murder on the Orient Express, there's books, there's movies, and then there's this play they could come and see. So like, is it okay to see, or like, should you go see the play first, or musical, let's say, or if there's a movie or some sort of book first, like which media, if you have your choice of the three, book, live performance, movie, do you see first?
I like to see a live performance first. I actually personally have not read the book or seen any of the movie adaptations of this, so I can't chime in about specifically these ones. I think it's fun to um, see a live performance overall. I think it really pulls you in more so than, watching a movie maybe and you're scrolling on your phone as well. You have these outside distractions and hopefully in the theater, your phone is not distracting you.
Everybody's going to follow those rules. They better.
Exactly. I always turn my phone all the way off because I am terrified of being that person that my phone goes off.
Especially up on stage, especially in an era that they didn't have phones.
Exactly. When I bring my phone on stage with me, I really hope it doesn't go off.
Right. And so then if anyone's not already convinced, this is your last chance to get butts in seats. Why should people come and see Deerfield Theater's production of Murder?
Because it's going to be awesome. And I think I'm not going to say what I think. Trying to really immerse everyone in the intrigue, the mystery. You know, you have to come and see it to find out why you should see it.
Oh, that's good. We haven't heard that one before. That's true. We haven't heard that enticing.
You won't know until you see it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right. So one last time, Danielle, thanks again so much for coming on the podcast.
Of course. Happy to be here. And thanks so much for having me. And I'm sure you'll see me on stage with Deerfield probably again and again.
Great. All right. That's a wrap. And that's our show. Please share this podcast to help support the work of Deerfield Theater. An even better way to support us is to go see Murder on the Orient Express. To purchase tickets, visit deerfieldtheater.com or click the link in the show notes. Thank you to the production staff and cast for Murder on the Orient Express. Please follow us on social media and subscribe to our podcast on your preferred listening app to never miss an episode. Until next time, thanks to everyone who continues to support the arts. We'll see you at the theater.